Let's talk about cancel culture, because you were telling me a story. You want to just tell me the story about what's going on with this friend of yours or this colleague?
Yeah, and I really can't get into too many details, but what I can tell you is that I have a colleague who's a clinician. He has a professional license like me. Professional license takes a long time to get. It's a little different license that he has, slightly different profession, but it still takes a long time to get, a long time to build up a set of clients and a life and a profession. And apparently there are some people who have no relationship to him who have decided that they don't like what they think he is. They think he's a racist. They think he's a misogynist. Nothing could be further from the truth. He's the nicest guy in the world. But they've decided that he needs to be canceled. So they spent probably all of 20 minutes trying to destroy what he has spent a lifetime building. And his license is under legitimate threat. Wow. He has to defend this. And I'm watching this situation. I know it's not an isolated situation. I expect my license to come under attack, maybe because of something I said today. But at some point, I'm going to be under attack, and I'm pretty. I shouldn't tempt fate, but I'm pretty anti-fragile. Like I will. Right. Yeah, I'm going to
lean into it. Yeah, lean into it.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I've already decided that I will make a spectacle of it when my license gets challenged. So, in a way, a little part of me is looking forward to it, and I shouldn't probably say that out loud. But anyway, I'm thinking about these people who are trying to destroy this man's life because they're trying to destroy his livelihood. Mm-hmm. They're going after his family essentially by taking away that livelihood. And I'm thinking, what would I say to these people if I could say one thing to them? And the thing that I would say is, nobody likes you. Nobody. And I don't say that to be mean. It's actually kind of a pathetic situation, a heartbreaking situation, because obviously the people that are under threat of being canceled by them don't like these people, but even their own side, quote unquote, their own side doesn't like them because, like J.K. Rowling, what happens when they step out of line? Well, they get savaged. And what happens if they stop looking for people to pursue and destroy? Because it's not enough that you destroy one person. It's not enough that you rain on one parade. You have to keep the hatred coming. So what's the end game to this? You're 85 years old someday. You're looking back on what? A trail of destruction, all the things that you broke and all the people that you hurt and the opportunity that you squandered to have maybe built something that other people might find useful. And in the bigger sense, what are you trying to build here? Do you want your children growing up in this totalitarian state? Because you're not going to be in charge. I know you're not going to be in charge. You're mean, but you're not mean enough.
They don't get it. And so I'll actually go back to the first thing you said, that they think he's a racist or whatever. No, they don't. They just want pain.
You're right. They're don't think
demons.
You're exactly right. They don't think he's a racist. They just want to destroy.
Yeah. So they've seen weakness and an opportunity to attack. Mm-hmm. They've tried coming for me, but sorry, I'm a crazy person. Like there's literally nothing you can do. So they thirst for that reaction and for that opportunity. It is kind of weird who they target and why they target, though. Yeah. Like I wonder why, some people who are random nobodies who make a bad tweet have their entire lives destroyed. Yeah. But like you literally, write a book about the tactical guide to women, and, people kind of shrug their shoulders, and most guys actually give a positive, view of it. Why haven't they tried to, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like they haven't come for you, but they've come for some random dude who made a bad tweet. Yeah. It's almost meaningless.
I don't get it.
Meaningless.
Yeah. So what are they not seeing in me, or what are they seeing in the other person?
Weakness.
It's kind of mystifying.
You're not weak. They know that you'll make a spectacle of it, you'll lean into it, you'll be empowered by it, and so they do nothing.
Well, I'll let you know next week when
we'll see what happens. But
when I get attacked.
Do you know who Count Dankula is?
Yes, I met Count Dankula.
Dank's awesome.
Yeah,
he's a smart, regular guy.
Couldn't understand a word he said, but he told me a good story.
Oh my god. So what's funny is, when they first went after him, the actual government and the police, because he made that pug video, mm-hmm. it made him famous, for better or for worse. Yeah. And he's gone on to make similar jokes and other videos, and now they don't. And I think it's because they realized he's empowered by it. Yeah. It's not having the reaction they want. They want the knee bent. They want people to say, "Yes, I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry." They want a scalp for their, for their wall. They want a notch on their bedpost, for lack of a better analogy. They want to show that we have power and we'll win. He was a failure for them. He succeeded. Yeah. I mean, look, I want to be fair. I think a lot of his life was really messed up, and he probably struggles with it.
It was a miserable experience for him. It was a very mixed bag, because he did get the fame, but
here's the thing:
what they did to him was unconscionable.
So, I think the reason why, I don't want to pretend like he's not going through anything still, because I don't know a lot about what his personal life is like. But he's gone on to make some edgy jokes since then, mm-hmm. And the question is, why not again? Why don't they go after him again?
That's a really good question.
But I think I know.
I think I know too.
Well, why do you think?
You had my friend Jack Murphy on here a few weeks ago. Jack Murphy
Yeah.
is the poster child for how to handle cancel culture. They canceled him. He came back 1,000 times stronger.
Yep, exactly.
That's how you handle
And
it.
so did Dank.
Yep.
And so I look at Jack and Dankula as confident and strong men who, whatever you want to say about them, looked at what was in front of them, weathered the storm, and said, now I'm going to, it's like what the saying, you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. So when they were faced with this, it was bad.
Yeah.
But they've turned it into something positive for themselves for all the bad that came with it.
Yeah, and they've both gone through very dark times because of this.
And
But they came out the other side.
They came out the other side. And I want to be careful of this because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think in some ways they've done really well because of it. They've been able to use it as an example, or it's allowed them to become people who can speak as to what this is and why it's bad. Mm-hmm. And they've become, to an extent, public figures, which is, they've built something from it. I think the reason they don't come back for him is because it's bad for what they want. Mm-hmm. They don't want someone to come back and succeed. It proves they have no power.
Yeah.
They want to cancel you, and they want you to go away forever so that they can keep having this weird, fringe, cult-like group of people succeed and expand and grow. And if you
into what they haven't thought about, but yeah.
No, they don't. It's a chaotic, destructive force.
Yeah.
So, what I've been seeing with, there was this chart I was looking at of the voters for the 2016 election. And what was interesting is that Donald Trump's base was evenly split economically between left and right. Mm-hmm. Strangely, there were socialist Trump supporters. Very, very rare. Very rare. I don't want to pretend and act like it's a large group. But there was this grid showing left to right economics, like liberal to conservative. And Trump's base was, even. But one thing they were opposed to was identity politics. And so what was interesting to me about that, and I could be interpreting the data wrong. I don't want to act like I'm, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, was that what it seems is there's a group of people with no clear goals. It's all just pure chaos and destruction. Mm-hmm. They cancel people for random reasons. They go after some people and not others. We don't know why. They just want to get a scalp on their, wall or whatever.
Yeah. And one is never enough. Then you got to get 2 scalps. Then you got to get 3.
And it's like a game to them.
Yeah.
But what that says to me is it's not really about politics or winning. They can't win. If at any point, they can't win in the sense that we actually give in to their demands. That's why no matter what happens, they're always the victim, because that's part of the chaos. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'll move on from that point and make another point as to what you were saying. Why would anyone want to live in that world?
The totalitarian world that they are constructing, if they were to get it, they would find out that they don't want to live there. You
ever see Doctor Strange? Have you seen that movie?
Long time ago. Barely remember it.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. Well, so I love this movie. And it reminds me of, to throw in some pop culture references, the bad guy basically thinks that there's this great, if the dark world comes into ours and makes us part of the one, it's like eternal life.
Oh, I'm thinking Doctor Strangelove. This is a different movie. I didn't see this movie.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. It's the 2016. It's So the bad guy thinks if they let in the dark dimension, which would engulf the earth, they will all live forever, and it's eternal life. But it's actually eternal suffering. Mm-hmm. And so he's actively fighting for this, and in the end, he sort of gets what he wants, and Doctor Strange is like, you got what you wanted, eternal life. You're not going to like it. It's like what these people are fighting for. Right. If they really knew what they were going to get, they wouldn't want it. But the reason why I ask this is I'm thinking about what makes someone happy, fulfilled, free. And for me, I'm like, I couldn't imagine waking up and being miserable every day, of always thinking the world is evil, always thinking you can't save yourself, you're pathetic, you're weak. It's very cult-like when they tell you that you can't succeed. You are being oppressed by a system that can never be changed. So bend the knee and join the hive, join the swarm, and attack anyone who dare oppose us. That's the only way. What kind of person wants to live in that world?
I don't know. I'll tell you another book that I have. I told you about my 1949 Intro to Psychology book. Another book that I have is, I think, the most commonly used gender studies textbook. It's called Women's Voices, Feminist Visions, or something like that. And it's about 105 essays, all boiling down to the same thesis that if you're a woman, the world is trying to make you miserable. So you read this book and you find all the ways that the world is trying to make you miserable. Why would you go past chapter 1? That's what mystifies me about this book.
It's like the people who purposefully read their Twitter mentions. I don't
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't, because it's just
It's a good
people.
policy.
It's people saying nasty things all the time. Not even to me, to other people, to each other. So I'll tweet something and then I go in there and it's someone's like, "Spot on, Tim," and then they'll insult somebody and then someone will insult them back. I don't want to read that.
Right.
I don't want to live in that world. When I wake up in the morning, I think happy thoughts. I put a smile on my face. I say, I wonder what's happening in the world today. It's going to be fun. Today's going to be a good day. Today's always a good day. I never wake up thinking I want to be sad or miserable. And I think part of this is, I was told by my dad when I was younger that some people like being miserable. And it sounds paradoxical, but it's true. They relish in being upset and thinking nothing can change. They want to be in that suffering, so that it's easier for them than accepting that they're just pathetic people who can't solve their own problems. Instead of saying to yourself, if I'm going to succeed, I need to stand up and go work towards a goal, you can say, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. And then just sit there in your misery blaming everyone else for your problem.
Right.
I guess misery loves company. That's why they want to cancel people. They want to engulf you into their world of suffering.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is why Jordan Peterson talks about responsibility, because your options are everything matters or nothing matters. And when nothing matters, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there. You don't have to, nothing you will ever do will ever make any difference. So why would you bother? And the alternative is terrifying, but it's much more meaningful.
There may even be a bit of a neurological basis for this, because there have been studies that show that when a person is ruminating in this sort of pain, that I don't like this loose terminology, but the reward circuit is a very sloppy terminology, but there's a little bit of dopamine hit that comes with the pain, and you can get into this trap where you're in a sense addicted to those little dopamine hits of being miserable. So maybe that plays into it also. I don't know. And it's also just a lazy way to go. It's, that's probably the simplest explanation is, well, I'm not responsible for anything, so I don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into a world where you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, laziness. I don't know what it is. I feel bad. I feel like everybody has potential.
Yes.
I think, there's a mix of nature and nurture in everyone's development, but I do think that everyone has the potential to be successful if only we told them they could. And so you end up with a lot of people who live in this world of this woke ideology where they're told, unfortunately, you can't succeed because white people are oppressing you, because men are oppressing you, because bankers, because the global elites, whatever they want to say.
Right.
I can't stand it. Yeah. Nobody, listen, even if you are the most oppressed person in the world, you can find a way.
Yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I always thought Muggsy Bogues was pretty inspirational. Are you familiar with Muggsy? No. Famous basketball player. I think he was in the Charlotte Hornets, and he's like 5'3".
Oh, right. Yeah.
NBA player.
Yeah.
Because he said, I'm going to do it. Nothing's going to get in my way. So I don't know a whole lot about him. I mean, that was, I was a real little kid back in his era in the NBA. But I remember, people often talk about how if you want to be in the NBA, you got to be 7 feet tall. No, that's not true. Some people, have just pushed the limits and said, no way, it's mine. I'll take it.
You got to be 7 feet tall, or you got to have something that compensates for not being 7 feet tall.
Yeah. And he provided that value, and he could do crazy, like he could 360 dunk. Like that's like he was jumping his entire body height. Like that's inspiration to me.
Yeah.
That you can look in the face of everyone telling you it'll never happen, and you can say, watch me.
So this is the ultimate tragedy of the cancel culture, is all of these. I don't think it's a lot of people. It's a small group of people. And what wasted potential. All this energy you're putting toward tearing something down, you could be putting toward creating something useful. That's so sad.
Maybe it's just a pendulum swing, an equal and opposite reaction. It's the chaotic force of entropy and our social behaviors coming back to haunt us.
What do you think is going to happen? Is cancel culture going to go away?
I don't know. Maybe. I think when you see people like Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, Ricky Gervais, etc., all just saying, shut up. You don't care. Eventually, you're powerless.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, I think they stopped going after, Dankula. I think that's why they stopped going after Jack. And now it's like, when they find their power didn't work and they've come back, it's like, uh-oh. It's like if you tried to go after somebody thinking this strategy will work, it doesn't, and now you have no idea what to do next, you better just back off and leave and go try somewhere else.
Right.
It's like a burglar coming to your house, trying to break the door, and then you show up with a gun and they run away. Your door broke. You got to go through the problem, possibly calling the police. It's probably your family's scared, so it is bad for you. The guy's not coming back.
Right.
They'll go to the other house.
when you punch the bully in the nose, metaphorically speaking, I'm not advocating violence. It's not when you hit someone in the back of the head with a bike lock. It's when you give that metaphorical punch to the nose, you've helped the bully understand where the limits are.
You know what, though? It's not even about winning against the bully.
No.
Punching him in the nose.
No, it's about setting up a boundary.
And so for me, it was my attitude was always like, I will burn this ship to the ground before you win.
Yeah.
Even if I go down with it. Know that before you start a fight. And so even then, it's kind of like, I'm going to avoid that guy.
Yeah.
You want to find a victim, go find somebody else.
Yes.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., sometimes an hour or two. And we do have a full live recorded version of the show that includes a lot of comments and smaller segments you probably don't see. If you want to check that out, you can watch live at 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, or become a member of this channel. And for $5 a month, you get full access to all of the recorded podcasts. Every day after the show, we make them available in the community section of this YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and stick around for more segments and more shows Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next show.